Okay, so how about we get the stream started? It's my first stream today, and I'm pretty excited about being able to do this and for you guys to be here joining me. This is something that I've been wanting to do for, I would say, probably close to a year now. But you know, when it comes to streaming or just putting yourself online, it's a little difficult and a little scary to put yourself out there. So that's why I'm starting in 2024. But this is something that I want to do so that I can show you guys a bit more about my actual UI design process. So I know on YouTube, I post a lot of videos about designing UI with me. And in those videos, I'm able to design something and then kind of have time to think about my process before jotting down a script on paper and then filming it so that you guys can watch a more clean tutorial, I would say. Then it gets all edited together and you guys know the rest. It just pops up like a YouTube video. But instead, I thought, why don't I show you guys the actual UI design process? Like, actually, maybe I'll just make myself bigger because we're not designing yet. But yeah, why don't I show you guys what the actual design process looks like for me, especially being someone who didn't come from like a graphic design kind of background. It is a little bit of a challenge to kind of figure out like the right fonts I want to use or the right colors, the layout, and there are so many of these micro decisions that are being made when you're creating UI design that I thought maybe I'll just show you guys the entire process as it is. So yeah, I hope you guys like this. If you have any difficulties hearing what I'm saying, if you want me to slow down, I really doubt it because we're really just gonna take it really nice and easy and chill. Yeah, let me know. So to start off, I am in Figma and I have a new file open here just in my drafts. You can start using Figma with a free account, which is what I use personally, and you can just create as many of these files as you want to. So I'm actually going to title this one. I had this set up yesterday and I showed you guys on my Instagram stories. I actually had it set up and I was like, oh, I'm going to title it my first stream. But I was like, no, wait until you actually get to the very first like live streaming, whatever, first before showing you guys naming the stream or the Figma file. Also, if I type really poorly, it's because I'm nervous. So I'm just going to be really open and honest about that just to start off. First stream. Okie dokie. I have to remember to switch back and forth. I think I'm going to take like a little Instagram post so that we can share. I feel like once I'm nervous, I forget how to do like every single thing in the world. Like right now, I'm like, oh, how do I open up a new Google tab and do all of that stuff? I just want to show myself being live online. Like, you know, it's not that big of a deal. It shouldn't be that hard. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to start off with a UI design, and I intended this to be like a very chill and easy stream, meaning I really didn't actually plan anything I wanted to do. So I'm going to take you right to my very first step of the process, which is when I create anything for like my portfolio or something just for fun, I always like to take a look at my Dribbble and see what kind of designs I've done lately. So that's what we're going to start off with first. And I'll move it as soon as, here we go. Hi. So welcome to my Dribbble page. I wonder if you guys have seen it before, but I've used Dribbble for, I would say, since 2019, which is when I first started my UX design career and like working professionally as a UX design consultant. And I've had this page ever since so that I can post up some of my work that I do in my free time, because it's always been a way for me to see if I'm actually enjoying my work or if I'm getting burnt out. Because I know when colleagues watch me design something in real time, I look so helpless. Exactly. I remember one time I had like a coworker who was asking me if I can show them my design process and what I do in my role. And he was a developer, so I was like, sure. And then he's just watching me as I like move things left and right or up and down. It's like, I don't know how much you're actually learning from me here. So there's that. Okay. So for my Dribbble account, I really like to start by taking a look at the things that I've created in the past. I guess I started off really like colorfully and really making things that I was super inspired by in that point of time in my life. So first off is like the movie Logan, which was the very first thing I designed, and it meant a lot to me because it was the very first movie that my husband and I watched together as sort of a date. He likes to call it a date. I personally don't call it a date because we went with a bunch of his friends. So it's not really a date to me. But yeah, whenever I'm making something, it's like, what am I liking in that moment? What is special to me? And that really helps me get inspired. Now, as I look into more of my like later designs, things I've done recently, I've kind of showed you guys my latest two that I've had here. And just from what I've been doing lately, it seems it's a lot of mobile design. So I think today, let's try designing something for web, or yeah, like a web app, maybe a landing page. We'll see. So I'm going to go to inspiration, and then let's take a look at web design and see what I want to do. I wonder if you guys use any other websites for looking for inspiration. I think I just default to Dribbble because that's the one that I started with when I started my career, and that's the one that I'm most comfortable using. Also, I have like posts myself on there, so it just makes me the most, I'm just used to it. But I know there are a lot of other designs or design websites that you can check for inspiration. And I know like a lot of people do say that you shouldn't use Dribbble because of so-and-so reason, like it's not realistic or anything, but I think that's fine if you're just looking to practice. Like maybe if you are trying to design like a real world application, maybe Dribbble isn't the best place to kind of like lift something and then shift it into what you're creating. But if you're just doing something for fun, I don't see any problem with it. So a lot of dark colors and a lot of mobile design. So let's do something light and website looking. This one looks good. I think dashboards are something that's really popular for people to design, but how many dashboards do people use actually, like in their day-to-day life? I think the only one that I use is the YouTube Studio dashboard. I don't know, what about you guys? Do you see anything here that's inspiring, makes you want to design something? Oh yeah, I think I was mentioning this earlier, but like I can always tell when I'm getting close to burnt out or if I am burnt out by how little I design on the side. I think that one thing that really drove me to UX was just being able to create things. But at times when I'm really burnt out, I realize that I just do not have the energy or the motivation to do that. So I think this is a good sign that there is something that I want to make. I'm going to take us back to Figma. And one thing whenever I get into Figma, something new about their like blank canvas artboard space or whatever, I feel like it's way too bright. So I always like to turn it a little bit darker just so it doesn't feel so like blaring and hard on my eyes to like look at for a long time. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I was actually dealing with a lot of eye pain, like on my right eye. I think it's my dominant eye, but every time I like tried to blink, it just kind of hurt or it felt really dry, things like that. So yeah, I've just been trying to be a little bit more careful when it comes to how, I hope you guys can hear that, when it comes to how much screen time I give myself. So let me look at, I was making wallpapers lately. I think you guys have seen this on my YouTube, but this is the Figma file where I have all of my assets for my portfolio. I actually want to go here, which is dribble. Okay, I use 1600 by 1200. I just had to make sure. Open this again. I want something bright. If I find that I'm not finding inspiration off of Dribble, something else I like to do is go on Pinterest. Not so much for the actual UI design, but because I like looking at the shapes and the colors. I get a lot of like color palettes recommended to me, and that usually drives some of that inspiration. Another one is looking at stock images. So like Unsplash is one of my favorites because they have really high quality photography that you can use for free for your portfolio or for any kind of design that you're doing. I kind of like this one. Maybe we can do something with jewelry, something nature inspired, something like that. Let's take this and then we'll drop it into Figma with Control V, and then let's start creating that mood board. So already I'm kind of visualizing what I want to create. Every time I add an image or if I find a color that I really enjoy, it's like giving me, like the way that I see design and designing an interface is that in my head, there's kind of like this blurry image of inspiration in there. And then with each piece that I find that I'm getting closer and closer into what I want to create, that image in my mind gets clearer and clearer. So right now we're still kind of blurry, but I really like this picture. So I think I want something to do with jewelry, something out in nature, something like that. How about furniture? I recently did a ceramics brand, and I really don't do a lot of branding because that's not really part of what my job has. But yeah, sometimes this is just what inspires me. I do want to take a ceramics or a pottery class or something like that. I think it'll be a lot of fun, especially with like how much time I spend in front of the computer. It would be great to be able to like do and like have a hobby that I can enjoy and also create something that's just not on a screen. I think that's going to be really valuable for me going into this new year. Kind of like this one too. Okay, now let's go back to Dribble and then let's look at web design. So I have already an image of something that I want to use in whatever I end up designing. But now when I'm looking at Dribble, I'm really looking at the layout so that I can start understanding what it is or how I want to lay things out. I think this is really hard, like especially as someone who doesn't have a graphic design background, figuring out how to lay out your design and like make it super appealing and like just in the right environment, I feel like is one of the more difficult steps for me. I don't know how you guys feel, but for me, it's pretty hard because I feel like it's a whole separate skill from designing an interface by itself. So let's take a look and see what we can make. Maybe I'll type in desktop and see if that helps. Maybe something componenty? That could be kind of nice. Okay, let's try this. I quite like this picture, so I'm going to take this one from Unsplash and I'm just going to drop it in here. See how big and how clear the images you get from here are? I love that. So I'm just going to make it smaller so it's a bit more manageable. I want to get ideas from teammates. No, I do not have teammates. Well, not any teammates here. I do have my teammates in my job and in my role. I was actually working today and we are doing a lot of, can I say this? Probably not. Maybe just to be safe. But yeah, I told you guys in my latest vlog that I moved into a new job in September. So I've been working with my teammates or my new teammates for about, how long has it been now? Like 4 months, coming on 5 months. And things have just been really great. I feel really lucky to be able to work in the team that I get to work with now. Let's create another frame in here, hitting F, and I'm going to choose a desktop. Now for me personally, I always like MacBook Pro 14-inch because I don't know, it's the one that I always end up getting for work. So that's the one that I like designing with the most. And obviously it doesn't fit, but I still need it. So let's take this and then I'm going to Control-Shift-C so I can copy as a PNG. And then I'm going to Control-V so that I can get it as just a PNG that I can move around. And I'm going to hold down Shift while I make it smaller so I can put it inside my Dribble frame. I'm going to call this my Dribble frame. And right now I'm just trying to figure out how I want to lay this out. I know I want to do a desktop. I know this is the size that I typically like to upload my Dribble shots in. So this is going to help me figure that out. Something like this feels very editorial-y. So I think the vibe that I'm going for is like outdoor, nature-y. I don't know why I made this this dusty pink color. That was by accident. If I do anything that looks dumb, it's because I am being dumb. That's all I got. It's like I'm nervous and I'm being dumb. Okay. What about this? Something else that I also want to get into this year is naming my frames, because whenever I have like I show you guys this, right? It's just a mess, okay? It's clearly nothing is named. I don't know where anything is. It is not good. It's not very helpful as another designer where to have to take a look at this. So I do want to get better at let's name some frames. Let's actually have some naming structure and organization and stuff. I know that like just for Dribbble, because I am working on it for myself, I'm not going to pass this off to anyone, but still, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with being a little bit more organized. Says the person that is currently talking into a microphone stacked on top of a bunch of books because they couldn't bother with buying a microphone stand or a tripod, whatever those are called. Now what am I gonna do with this image? Because I still like it. I guess we'll need another screen here, won't we? Let's go back to here and see what else we got. I can feel myself already starting to move towards this whole mobile design desire, but I'm not going to do that. I have to stop myself from doing that. Okay. Oh, I like this. So you see here how they have this like pattern that's laid over. I love that. I love like that overlay. You guys have seen me do it like hundreds of times. I love having this. So we're probably gonna end up doing this sometime whenever I get to the background. Okay, how about let's look up nature desktop. Is that gonna give us anything? Okay, this is the wrong type of nature. Do you know what I mean? It's not like minimalistic nature. Maybe you try minimalist. Maybe something like this. This is quite popular for landing pages. But I always find that this is the most difficult. I always find that this is the most difficult part of trying to actually set up the theme and the kind of mood of your design. This is what it takes. Oh no. How do I get rid of this? One second. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I like this. I think what I like about it is just like how bright the yellow is. I've been very attracted to like having more of these like singular pops of color, which is probably why I liked the strawberry picnic image so much. Okay, let's try something else. I'm just gonna start blocking. Do you guys know what I mean about like liking things that are just like that overlay? I love the idea of adding different dimension because like when you are looking at a screen or when you're looking at a, hey everyone, when you're looking at a, like a screen, everything's flat. So until you get that like that shadow in the right way, then that's when you finally like get that extra dimension and color. I think those are really important when trying to fit those into your UI. So your name is Charlie or Charlie? Charlie with the I. So that's the one I go with. Accent colors are so important. Yes, they are. I think it could seriously make or break your design. And hello. Hi. Hey everyone. I'm getting very picnicky vibes from this. Maybe let's add some text in here so I can start seeing what this is going to look like. Now, what kind of font should we use? That is the actual question. Something modern? How's this? I've never used this font before. I realize that whenever I'm using fonts, I kind of just stick to the same tried and true. Oh, you know what, you guys? One thing that I kind of like picked up on whenever I'm doing interviews for UX design roles is like, I've been asked before, like, what is your favorite font? And I think as most designers, like, we have fonts that we really like tend to gravitate towards. But maybe it's because I have like a comp sci background. I'm very simple when it comes to my fonts. Like, I just want something that's readable, something that is, you know, you can see on the screen, it's accessible. Times New Roman. Times New Roman could be one, if that's what you're going for. A sweet font, elegant but modern. Exactly. That's what I'm going for. If I can get that right. I don't know if I can get this right here. Here's a font that I really like. Asteria. I think this one looks pretty good. I don't know if it's right. I kind of want a font that's more like italic, I guess. Let's see. I'm a mediocre in UI design. I'm trying to learn mobile app development. Which is better to learn according to you, Flutter or Swift? So I've never actually been a mobile app developer. I was mostly front end, or I like tried a little with back end back when I was like at the tail end of my UX design or of my software development career, I would say. It's very short lived. I only worked for a couple years as a software developer before I moved into UX design. So yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with mobile design. What I do know is that most of the people that I've worked with who have been mobile devs used Swift. Hi Charlie, don't you reduce the weight of the image in Photoshop before putting it inside Figma? I do not. I actually don't have Photoshop right now. I haven't used Photoshop for quite a while now. I used to use it frequently back when I would say designing, but really it's like I was making anime GIFs and edits on Tumblr. That's where my design career really started. Back in high school when I was obsessed with like Tumblr, and Tumblr was in its prime before it was bought up by Yahoo. I think it was Yahoo. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But that's where I actually started with designing and learning Photoshop. But then as soon as I got into UX design and then I started picking up Figma, I actually really don't use Photoshop anymore. Like, I don't have that much of a need for it. I can see if you were doing more like complicated design work or editing photography to go into your UI design, maybe that would be a good one for you. For you to like keep having Photoshop, but for me, I don't. I know my company has a Adobe license, but as a UX designer, as a product designer, I don't really need to use it. So usually I do all of my image editing inside Figma because I feel like I don't need another tool. Asteria looks a lot like one of my favorite fonts, Canella. I've actually never seen Canella, but I'm also not the best at fonts. I don't have Canella. I hoard fonts, you guys. I have so many. I probably use like 4 of them. I use like Helvetica and then I call it a day. Let's see. Do you guys know what I mean by like a soft, elegant font? What is that? Which one would that be out of all the ones that I happen to have and have no idea what they actually end up looking like? Is it this one? Does this scream elegance to you? Maybe it does to some people. Do you use Sketch as well or just Figma? I only use Figma. So funny story, but it's not actually that funny. When I started off as a UX design consultant, I worked at a company that had where we were Microsoft partnered. So when my first computer as a UX consultant was a Surface Book. It wasn't even a MacBook. I used the Surface and I used Figma, but because I wasn't using like a Mac or anything, I couldn't use Sketch, and I've never been able to actually learn it or been in a company that uses Sketch. I think every company I've worked with as a UX designer has been Figma only. Do you see any benefits in learning Sketch though? Like especially at this time? I don't know. You guys tell me. Screams MS Paint. How dare you? No, I'm just kidding. You're totally right. Not the elegant Comic Sans. So Comic Sans has a purpose, you guys. Like, it wasn't created just to be ugly, It was created because Comic Sans is like the easiest font for people who are learning English as a second language, or like readability wise, or I think for dyslexia. You guys have to, I would look it up, but yeah, Comic Sans is really good for readers who need that. So there is a purpose to it. It just happens to be kind of an ugly font. Anyways, we're not getting anywhere with this. Let's keep going. How about Mango? Doesn't have the italic version. Can I italicize it? I cannot. I think this looks good. Sketch was good back then, but Figma's good now. Absolutely. Absolutely. How do you guys feel now that, whatever happened to the Adobe acquisition? I hear a lot about like acquisitions lately, but mostly like because of video games. Like, if you guys don't know, I'm a huge, huge fan of Overwatch and Overwatch 2. So, yeah, it's just been in the news lately. I thought I wanted to bring it up. Are we designing or are we chatting? We're designing. Eventually, I'm going to add a shadow behind here just so this sticks out a little bit more, but I do like how bright this is. Also, I told myself like, hey, I'm only going to stream for 1 hour. Like, you can do it for 1 hour, like be online, talk to yourself, yap away, yap until you can't yap no more. But here I am, it's been like 40 minutes and this is really fun. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like, this is not as nerve-wracking as I thought it was going to be. I was nervous coming into this. Like, I had a meeting this morning that was with like a review with stakeholders and everything, and like I was nervous for that too. But like, this thing after work is like when I was the most nervous, because I had never experienced this. As someone who has watched Twitch streams for, how long has it been? Like 6-7 years? I never imagined myself to actually be doing it. So yeah, here we are. I do play Overwatch 2 with my girlfriend. She's addicted, but doesn't want to play alone. I get that. I play alone. No one else plays Overwatch with me, okay? Actually, do I even want anyone to play Overwatch with me? Because I'm quite bad at it. Considering how long I've been playing it, I'm pretty freaking terrible. But it's okay, because it's just for fun. I think in life, you should let yourself be bad at something. If you're not bad at anything that you do, it just means you're not learning enough. It means you're not stepping out of your comfort zone and adapting and all that good stuff that makes you grow as a human. So yeah, anyways, I'm pretty bad at Overwatch, but I love watching it. The first streamer that I actually watched was an Overwatch streamer, or he was an Overwatch streamer back then. It was Moon, and I used to watch him every night when I was doing my homework, and he would stream every night and stream Overwatch, and he played a lot of like Roadhog, or like before the changes and everything. And I don't know, like him being there's something about like having that streamer that you just like, and they're kind of like, you feel like you know them and that they're your friend, and having them work with you and chill with you and just like live their own life while you're doing your computer science homework. It was just really nice. And I don't know, I just really appreciate streamers who like spend their time to do stuff like that. And it's not easy, for sure. I think this looks good. You know what we need, everybody? We need a color palette. See, you can tell I'm nervous because I spelled color without the U like a normal Canadian. I spelled it just C-O-L-O-R. See, these bright colors just make me really happy. I'm gonna stay away from blue because I've been using a lot of blue. Lots of blue lately. Lots of cool blue colors. We're gonna go for something brighter, something more fun that matches the image of the strawberries. Maybe something like this. So let's take that, copy it, and then you can just drop it straight into Figma. And I want to extract all of these colors. So the way I like to do it is, and again, like none of this is like right, none of this is like the way to do it. I just exist on this plane and on this planet to, get to the end result. So I created a bunch of squares, which is usually how I like to take a look into and start my color palette. Select one, and then we're gonna go over to the right-hand sidebar and use the eyedropper tool. And I'm just gonna take all the colors in this palette. I'm probably not gonna use them all. Probably only want one, but hey, nothing wrong with having a few more. All good unless Adobe adds a subscription plan to Figma. Yes, why is everything a subscription plan? It's so annoying. I'm gonna switch the color of the background. I usually like to take a color from the palette that I guess we're gonna be using, and it looks nice, right? Like it looks nice with this strawberry blankets kind of color and that same kind of tone and that same like redness. When did this show up? Okay, well, whatever. In the fill, I'm going to just drag it a little. I never like to use like the straight out F color. I like to use something a little bit off white. Like you can barely tell. Maybe someone wouldn't be able to tell, but you know in your heart that this isn't like a pure white. Just a little bit more soothing for the eyes. 18th of November, 2015. I feel old even though I'm not even 20. How is 20 old? You're not old at all. You have such a bright future ahead of you. I think when I was doing like super pure calls or stuff like that, I've had individuals who would be really worried about starting UX late. Even for myself, I thought that a little because I graduated from university and I graduated late. I graduated when I was, I want to say like 24 or something. And then I worked for a couple years as a dev. And then I went into UX and got my first UX design job when I was 20, my math is so bad, 27. And, I think I was not 27, was I? Oh my gosh, how old am I? It doesn't matter. Anyway, I was late, okay? Not in my early 20s. And there was definitely a part of me that was like, oh, how many people have already known that they wanted to be a designer and have spent their whole life building up a portfolio? How come I didn't do that? How come I didn't know about UX back when I first started and everything? And, that's just not a really good attitude to look at for yourself. I think one thing, like now that I'm 30 and I'm like doing my thing, I think one thing I really want to do is like be a little bit kinder to myself and, just enjoy my time, take it slow. I spent a lot of my early career absolutely, yeah, I'm definitely over 27. So yeah, just enjoying the process, because I was just such in a rush, like wanting to do more and to gain more experience, and it's really exhausting. I just don't think that's the right way to live. Like when you're young and you're 20, like, you know how people are like, make mistakes, blah, blah, blah. Like don't make that, like don't make huge mistakes, but like give yourself a chance to like really go for what you want. If you want to stream. If you want to be a UX designer, be a UX designer. You have time. And like the worst thing is, having this idea or like this thing that you really think that you want in your life and then not going for it, because you're always going to have that idea in the back of your mind. Like you're always going to wonder what if. So you might as well give yourself like a fair shot at doing the thing that you actually want to do, because you have to know, like you owe it to yourself to really take that chance. It's such a scary thing, like betting on yourself. But you know, who knows what's going to happen. Okay, let's keep designing. I think, you know what, you guys, I think we are actually going to just stick with a very simple one panel website design. Something like this, because I really do like this picture of the strawberries. I keep saying it. Yeah, we're gonna see this and see where it goes. I also feel like in my color palette, I need like just a darker color. Would it be worth it to try to find a color from an image like this? Because then you all know it kind of falls within that same like tone, right? Well, we'll see how it goes. Okay. So anyway, this is our like, we'll say thumbnail. And then I'm actually going to use the MacBook Pro frame that we created earlier in order to start the actual design, because I want that real estate. Like I want that space to be able to do this. So first off, let's name this. We'll call it desktop. And then let's round out the corners. So up here, let's round out the corners to, I would say, 8. I have mine default set to 8. You can adjust this in Figma so you don't have to like go to 10 and then like -2 with your little arrow keys every single time. You go into preferences and then you select nudge amount. And you can change the big nudge, which is the one that you get if you press shift, to 8. Usually it's default to 10. I always change mine to 8 whenever I get Figma on anything. So we're gonna do that. And then I can use a little bit more to 16. Now let's take this strawberry image and let's make it bigger. So I'm holding down shift when I do this so it doesn't get like all weirdly aspect ratioed. Let's just Control Z and get rid of that. How big is this? Cool. Now I do want something to overlay on top of it. So let's do R, create a rectangle, and we'll use that same kind of white color. Let's grab the white color that we had from here. You guys can see the difference, right? Like the pure white and like this color that we selected. Let me see if I can take the color from the, from here and then turn it. Okay, take this too, this white. No, I don't want to overcomplicate this because it's just for fun. Where did my picnic letters go? Okay, so what we could do is totally put something up here. It's like a little pop-up window. Let's round our corner again. That's too much. Let's do 4. Always buy multiples. Is it called multiples? Like numbers that you can go into 8. Yeah. So I'm going to use 4. We'll see how this looks. Let's try to make sure that this is all pretty much even. And then I also want to play around with my layers. Is that what I want to do? I need copy. That's what I need. I need copy. Let's see if I ask ChatGPT like what this could look like. Maybe like gentle be a good word. We can always change this later. I just need to see what it looks like when we have some copy in here so I know what I'm doing. A bit smaller. What's going on here? I feel like this image is too wide now. Let's move this out, double click on the image, and then in fill, we're gonna go to crop. I'm gonna crop from this side because I already feel like this is quite narrow between the bowl and the edge. So let's do that instead. How's that? Now why don't we fill this up with a few like kind of placeholder default UI things. I think one would just be like an arrow here. So Shift L and then hold down Shift as you drag an arrow out. So you get like this kind of arrow, which doesn't look very nice. Also, I don't feel like it matches our brand necessarily. Like I feel like with the way that the image is and with the way that the font, maybe not this font, but the way that this font is kind of shaping up, I want those, what is it called? Like the sharpness of it. And then if you look at the arrow, it has like these rounded pointy, what am I doing? You know what I mean? It's like rounded, right? I don't think I want that. I don't think that fits with our theme. So let's change the arrow. Is that better? I don't think so. Am I gonna find something that I actually like? This is fine. I'm also gonna make this smaller too. I don't know if I like that. Change the black to match the one that we got from our palette. Maybe something like this. Are you using Arc Browser? I'm not. I want to try, but yeah, I feel like I need to get into that. I'm using Chrome. I don't know, have you tried Arc? Do you have any thoughts? Could you review it for us? Now, what else does like a landing page or something like this usually have? It's amazing. You must use it. Okay, what's so amazing? What's so amazing? You need to sell it to me. I need to know what makes Arc so amazing. I feel like we're gonna need menu. I'm just trying to think about what kind of shapes I see. Like I wonder if we are using this picnic copy, then we also have like this bowl. Strawberries are kind of like round, I would say. So what should we... Do you see how it's coming together though? Like it's getting somewhere. Let's see what other kind of shapey things. I really like this one, but I just don't think it's right. This is very clothing brand-esque. This looks really nice too. I feel like what I'm missing when it comes to this UI is really some purpose. Like, what are we promoting here? A website is usually meant to like drive some kind of like sale, you know, like what are we promoting to our users? I know this is just UI, but like thinking about it from like a UX kind of mindset, like what are we, or a product mindset, like what are we promoting here? What are we trying to get our users to look at? CTA time. We will have a CTA, but that's the thing, like I don't know what to CTA because we don't have an action to call. Would that be the right way to say it? Anyways, actually to you guys, like how similar is this to your UX design process? Are you just scrolling half the time and like looking at things, or like you actually like focused in designing? What do we sell? I don't know. Are we selling strawberries? Are we selling picnics? The experience? I'm already committed to this. Like we have to use this picture. So there's no getting away from it anymore. I wanted something bright. Check. We use that really nice picture. I want something light too. And I also want to stay away from blue. So visually, this is what I want. But like, okay, if we had to think about it, like what is the purpose of it? I'm sure we can have some like normal navigation items like home. Home looks so nice in this font. Is it just me? But like as soon as I see it, I'm like, ah, yes, this is what we want here. Promote farmers market vibes. I love that. Okay. Farmers market. I like that idea. Like modern farmers market, like a picnic app, picnic partners. Picnic partners, it sounds so cute. Like, could you imagine kind of like a dating app, but instead you're finding people to like picnic with? And then some of the criteria I would guess would be like, do you have a dog that you can bring? How good are you at making drinks? How good are you at making sandwiches? Whatever. I remember when my husband and I used to live, not at this place, but like at another place in our city. We went on a picnic and we made these like really, really good brie and apple like grilled cheese sandwiches. And then we also made like a nice soup to go along with it. We took our dog out and it was just such a nice little like simple date night or date day, date afternoon. That was really fun. Okay, home. Let's make this smaller. What's the smallest font that you guys use when creating designs? I think 28 is pretty big. Let's do 21. Can I show you my dog? It's up to him. So I have a sheep or a Shiba, like a Doge, and he really just kind of does whatever he wants to. So I can't make him do anything. I can't bring him into this room. I can't tell him what to do. He's very smart, you know, for Shibas. Like, he knows what we're asking of him. So we can be like, paw, and then you can see that he's sitting there, and you can see that his arm kind of like twitches up just a little like this, because he knows the action. He knows what I want him to do. Like, we want your paw. So he'll lift it off just a little, but he's like, no, I don't see a treat. And then he just like doesn't do it, and then he turns away. Very hard-boiled, but I think that's part of his charm. Let's see, home, and then farmer's market kind of vibes. What happens at a farmer's market? Shop. Contact us. Oh, you know what we need? We need social media icons. We need social media icons. Let's also grab email too. He's an alpha sheep, yeah, absolutely. An alpha sheep. Alpha of the family. Let's see. Let's do TikTok. Let's do this for now. And then I just want to change the color of it. Okay, so I pulled these from Google, and then what I usually do so that I can change the, like, these are images, right? So you can't really do too much of them. And even if you try to fill the color, you just fill out the entire block. So this is where my early Tumblr era, Photoshop era really steps in and helps. And I'm 100% sure that this is not the way to do it properly, but it's the way that I'm gonna get it done. So that's what's gonna happen. R for rectangle, and then just draw it completely over the thing that you want to cover. In this case, it's going to be the TikTok icon. Then I'm going to select a color. It really doesn't matter, but I'm going to choose this one just so I can actually see the difference. Select both of them, and then is it this? It's not this. Hold on 1 second. You want to just mask it. So this one. What am I doing? Let's see. Is it intersect? It's not. I can't remember what it is anymore. There you go. Use as mask. Whatever the key command is, that's what I was trying to do. But anyways, so now that rectangle has now taken the shape of the TikTok icon, and it's a color. So now I can just select it, and then I can change the color into whatever I want to, which is going to be really helpful later. What would be easier in this case is if you actually did and like used a SVG, like probably a normal person would, but I do it this way. I think it's just bad habits. Control Alt M, right? I should know this. I don't know what's going on. Use this mouth. There we go. There we go. And we'll choose another color for this. Also gonna lighten this arrow because I think it's just a little too prominent, but I still want it within that like kind of pinky tone. I just want to see which one I'm gonna take it from. I guess this one's fine. Maybe something like this. Let's see, home, shop. Probably about, I would say. Right? Home, about, shop, home. Maybe events, I think sounds better. If I put in about, it's just gonna make me think that I'm creating a like a portfolio, and I do not want to be doing that right now. Also, just to keep in with that whole line theme, draw a line under here. We'll do 0.5, and then it's just so we know which one's active. Like we're on our home page. We'll do this. You remember when I said earlier I was going to name my layers? Maybe next time. 40, 40, 40 sounds good. Now, is that all we want? Move it here. How's this? I feel like the font is wrong. But I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for an italic font that I can use. We UI designers always forget to name layers we just remember before starting the project, and that we remember after we end the project. True. Do you see how many fonts I have? This is ridiculous. That's not what I want. Too casual, I think, that one. Is this what I'm looking for? No, it's not. It's definitely not. You know, right? Like, you know when the font is the one that you actually visualize in your head. It's like everything just fits into place. Maybe if I wasn't using the word picnic, I need to change the song. I need to listen to something else. If I can find my window. Here we go. I've been listening to like anime lo-fi. Maybe we can listen to Ghibli piano. Okay. So now these colors are like extremely distracting because they're so ugly. One sec. Sometimes I ask myself, like, how was I able to create some of the things that I've done in the past? Like, I think like this one for Fire Emblem was like, what was I on? Like, why was I so creative? Why was I so inspired? No, it makes sense. I was very inspired by Fire Emblem Awakening. It's an amazing game. Highly recommend you to play it if you haven't already. And if you have already, play it again. But like, how did I end up creating this? I think this was years ago too. Yeah. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to focus back onto games. I should make something for Overwatch. We'll save that for another day. It's 4 a.m. already. How? Our time zones are so apart. I really feel like I should do something for Overwatch. I feel like Overwatch actually has fantastic design. Like the polish that the team puts in is ridiculous. Like not even like just it's honestly so inspiring to see as a creative the amount of polish and heart that goes into Overwatch, and I think that's why I really kind of fell in love with the game when I first started back in like 2016. I remember that like I was there that day they changed Overwatch to Overwatch 2, and like I remember that screen. Like, do you guys remember? Were you there when they released Overwatch 2 and they had like the ugliest font and the ugliest like gray background, and it just lost so much of that color and personality that I felt Overwatch had. Thankfully, since then they've changed it back, but yeah, it's just not good at all in my opinion. Ooh. You're from France? Oh, that's so nice. I've never been to France. I've actually never been to Europe at all, actually. Usually when my family and I go traveling, we would go visit family in Asia. Do we actually ever vacation? I wouldn't say we vacationed, more so we just, every 4 years or so, we would be able to take some time to go back to Hong Kong and spend time with my family, and we would like live with relatives and everything. But I mean, like my dad and my mom, and then yeah, it was really fun. But I wouldn't say we ever like went on a lot of vacations. I think they did their best, but yeah, I hope to travel more. Like right before the pandemic, the year before, I went to Montreal with a few of my girlfriends, and that was so fun. We saw a band, One OK Rock, and it was just so incredible. Like they're a really great band, but they're just not very popular in North America. Luckily, we were able to go to like a small theater. The tickets were like, I want to say like $50. We got to stand there, and they were so good. Like actually ate the CD kind of good. But yeah, that was a really fun trip. And I think that was actually like my last like trip. I ate so much bread there when I went. I was just so carved up the entire time. Okay, let's get back to this. I really think we're just missing like a theme, like so that our copy can actually make sense and we can start visualizing what we're actually creating. Okay. I'm really surprised you haven't made something around One Piece, like a web page that has different themed character pages. Me too. I've had ideas for like anime inspired UI design. Like I wanted to do something for JJK, but it just hasn't happened yet, and I'm not really sure why. I think this would be a good opportunity, like one of these streams, to make something anime inspired while listening to anime music and then talking about anime. Especially with like a background full of my One Piece collection. So what I'm actually going to do now is take that strawberry image, whoops, and let's rotate this. I want to see what this looks like. I'm going to drag it on top like this, maybe put it under everything, and then I'm going to change the layer. You can kind of see it, right? Okay, good night. Maybe not yet. Okay, let's zoom out and take a look at this again. See what we can do here. This is where the real designing comes in. It's just me staring at it and trying to figure out what to do to make myself like it more. I need copy. I really just think we need some kind of copy. like how it connects with the background kind of. I think something else I also want to try is like designing or illustrating something and then using it in a design. I need more pictures. How did we find that first image again? I can't remember. Nature, like a grassy field. Linen. Is this a good enough keyword? That period of designing where you end up just like, do I actually like this? I think I do, but is this what I want? Okay, let's do some brainstorming here. Picnic, strawberry, strawberry. Yeah, so if I ever feel stuck, sometimes I just start writing out words that I feel like would help me in the scenario, and then hoping that it'll kind of give me an idea of what I want to add, or at least what's going wrong for me. Like, it'll get me somewhere, because I feel like right now I'm just kind of at a point where it's okay. I can wrap this up pretty quick. Like, really, if I figure out what my copy is here and then create it like a little subtitle here, we can technically, and then, I don't know, a call to action somewhere, we can technically be done, you know? But it's like, is this really what I'm looking to make? Strawberry. I want something bright. I want something. I love strawberry. Don't stop. Stop it. Strawberry, bright. I want something colorful. But and when you have colorful, you also want something minimal because you can't really, just becomes a little too much. Personally, I'm like a huge maximalist. I love stuff, like just being around stuff. I'm not a very minimalist kind of person, I would say. But I think for UI, you kind of gotta be. Is it because I feel like I'm too limited? Am I too powerful? I need to create more screens in order to create something that I actually like? You know, I don't actually look at Behance a lot. Maybe that's what I need today. Maybe I need Behance. I think like early on in my design career, I tried to create like a Behance portfolio, whatever, but it's just, I don't know, something about it just doesn't feel as good. How do I search for things? Do I just like, I just type in a color and is it gonna give me something? Okay. And then this I have to purchase, right? Okay. Okay, this stuff is pretty cute. It's not really what I'm looking for, but okay. No, but if I create more than one screen, then I'm just gonna find my way slowly going down into mobile design. And I don't want to do that. I've done too many mobile things recently. I need to switch. Okay, maybe I need something like this, like just a really big screen so I can have like the above the fold section and also the non-above fold section below fold. Let's extend this frame. And how is this gonna look? Okay, so we can get rid of this now because we already have this. And then selecting the frame, Control-Shift-C, so you can copy as a PNG. I used to always like select the thing and then choose export and then export PNG and whatever in order to like show my team something or show someone from another team something. But now like just export as a PNG, like it's so easy. Okay, and then let's also change the background color just so I can see what's going on. And we'll change it to something that we're obviously not going to use, like this. I feel like I did that before, and then I actually ended up choosing that color. But I don't think we're going to get that lucky this time. Let's see. How long have you been a UX designer? How long has it been? 5-6 years? I think at this point? Yeah. It feels like it's been a while. Like the whole period of time where I was a software developer, it feels like a different lifetime ago. I cannot imagine having to code and like just doing that for work anymore. What's the shortcut again? Control. What is it again? Hold on, wait 1 second. Control-Shift-C. It will let you copy as a PNG, and then you can just Control-V normally, and then you'll be able to paste it. But yeah, Control-Shift-C. this is too big, so we'll move all this up. See, this is what happens when you go in without a plan. Or like this. Then we'll crop this up to here. Then I also like have to unround this corner. Just stop this bottom one, hit 0. I don't think this is the right design choice here. Right, and then we can choose something green and add it over here. Like this will be a little about section. So I guess we are making a like a landing page. Turn it like this. I feel like design is easier than coding. Debatable. Debatable. As someone who has worked in both roles, it really just depends. It depends on what you're good at and also what you like to do. Either way, as a software developer or as a designer, your main purpose and like the reason why you're hired is because you need to solve problems. So it really depends on like how you like to solve the problem. Like, do you like solving problems through through code? Or do you like to solve problems through design? And at least for me, I think I like to solve problems through design. And coding was okay. And when I started, right, I started as like a junior intermediate developer. So I wasn't really like solving the biggest problems. It wasn't until the end of my my short-lived software development career that I actually started to like get into bigger problem spaces. But yeah, I feel like I think deep down, I kind of always wanted to do something with design. It's just that when I was going to school, we didn't have like a UX design program or anything like that. So I just thought computer science was the way to go. And that's what I ended up doing. Okay, so this looks okay. Also, I do this a lot too, especially when I'm working with like mobile designs and mobile design dribble shots. I use the same trick of like copying as a PNG and then I just like replace it. So you can replace something by, I think it's Control-Shift-R. Is it? Paste to replace Control-Shift-R. Okay, well, I don't really like the way it looks. So Control-Shift-R. And then you can just see what it looks like now. So like this is always going to be your thumbnail, right? Like this is what your design is going to look like. Do I want to put this at the very top? Probably not. I also really like this too, where you have that like border that's supposed to kind of mimic like your laptop screen or something. I feel like I've done something like that before. I did somewhere. I did it on my portfolio. That's where I did it. You know, something like this. Great, I'm just getting into UX. And I'm just getting into UX and I wish I went into computer science. Oh, so is it like a UX design program at your university or your college? I didn't have that growing up. I make myself sound so old. I didn't have that when I was in school. So it's like, is there UX design degrees now? Doing my master's in CS right now, but the job scenarios after. Yeah, I bet every company wants entry-level employee with 2+ years of experience, and I don't know how. Yeah. I feel like here too, it's like everywhere it needs experience. Junior roles, you need like 3 years of experience. Sometimes internship doesn't even count. It's like, then what are you supposed to do? And then I feel like sometimes with work, especially, it gets so like predatory, especially in a field like UX design, because people know that you're most likely doing it because you're passionate about it, because it's something you want to do. And like, you can easily get taken advantage of as a designer. And like, people ask you to like work longer hours, work for free, do bonus projects. Also, you have to like, if you work at a smaller company, you have to like be a great graphic designer, great at marketing, help out the sales team, make graphics, make social media content. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's pretty predatory, and it's like really crappy for juniors right now. I'm gonna start over. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm gonna see what else I can do with these images and like how else I can lay them out. How about here instead? I feel like I have the components that I want, probably, or at least I'm pretty close. But they just might not be right. Also, this is way too light. Oh, you know what? Actually, do I have it? I have like these old designs that I made, and I've always wanted to do a YouTube video where I show you guys my old designs and then just absolutely rip them apart, because I can see like everything wrong with them now. Yeah, maybe one day when I find like some of my older designs. But at least like I had this really big issue where everything that I made, I was so like not confident in the colors I was choosing. Everything was super light like this because like I just wasn't comfortable creating color contrast and also making it look nice. So I tried to like make everything really light, make everything super muddy, and it was just really like, it wasn't very good. It was definitely not accessible is what I'll say. So yeah, I'm sure I can find them one day, and then I'll show you guys how bad it was. I still think this is too thick, so let's do 1.5. I barely want it there. And then something else I like is also like layering these kind of boxes and stuff, just to give it more dimension, and then like offsetting it a little. I think when you like start designing a lot, you end up like getting a few specific things that you feel comfortable. Like I guess it would be style. That's what you call it. Like if I go into my old designs, what have I done? Where's my style? You know that thing that I do, I mentioned before, of like, I always like use big letters and then like layer them on top of each other. Is that style, or is this just like a choice? I don't know. But that's something that I do for a lot of my designs. Like you'll see it here, right? Like you can see the characters behind. And then look where else I did it. I also did it here. And I'm sure there are other places I've done it. Yeah, here in my BTS one. Look, same idea over and over again. Cause it does look cool, right? Yeah, once I graduated in like 2017, and we did not have a UX program. The closest I ever got was in my computer science program. We had like human-computer interaction, human-robot interaction courses, and I took those, and we did learn stuff like prototyping, writing user stories and things, but like no one ever taught us like how to use Figma or Adobe XD or Sketch or anything like that. So yeah. But I'm pretty sure now, at least in my old university, they do have a UX design, I think at least like a concentration in computer science. I don't know if it's like a full out like Bachelor of Science UX design or whatever. Wait, I think I'm missing something. But now is a big part of every company, hence the courses are available. What's a big part of because UX design without, maybe I should just read. You must be everywhere in every category in the company. Yeah, especially if you are working on a smaller company. I need a fake logo. That's what's gonna complete this design. A fake logo. One time on Instagram, I made like this a website for this. I can't remember what it's called, where it gives you like Acme logo things. Anyways, yeah, I was on Instagram and I was like looking for a fake logo for a banking app, and then it actually ended up being like a real company, and I had no idea. So that was kind of embarrassing. Maybe dummy logo is probably better than fake logo. Dummy logo. Designing is so much time and effort, more than everyone thinks. Absolutely. Absolutely. It takes so long to come up, not only just like coming up with the design, but like something that matches the branding of whatever company you're designing for. Every single thing is like a micro decision. Everything requires a little bit of thought put behind it, and you have to just have such a clear vision whenever designing something. Like if you want to design something really well. Yeah, it's definitely not easy. And like that's why I think it's so hard. Like I've worked at companies before, especially if you were going to work in an agency or something. Like you have a client and you're getting billed by the hour most likely. So like how do you quantify that time, right? Like when I started off in my career, I love UX design. Like I'm not saying I don't love it now, but like I loved it. It was like a dream come true for me to be able to like work in this field, that I just did so much all the time. I worked all the time, always thinking about it, always strategizing, always trying to learn. And not only did I like burn myself out, but like I didn't feel comfortable billing for those hours where I'm just like thinking, because I was like, I'm not actually putting any like real work onto the screen for my client to see. I'm just like iterating through ideas to myself, but like it really is work. But I think like, you know, when you're a junior, it's like, maybe I'm really slow, and a senior could have figured this out and figured what looked better so much faster. So yeah, I don't know, like design is definitely tricky. I'm just trying to find a logo, you guys. I don't even know. If you guys know a website to find fake logos, please tell me. Oh, here we go. This is the website I was looking for. Acme Logos. I've used this one before. Professional placeholder logos for your design projects. And they're all for free. This is what I was looking for. Now, which one would go with probably this one, right? It gives like the flowery kind of look to it. Can I just copy it? There we go. Yeah, perfect. Acme Design. I use Illustrator's AI generator for quick logo. Smart. I could probably do that as well. Okay. Acme. Let's do this. Oh, posture check. I'm gonna stretch. And then we'll go by 8s again. So let's do 24 by 32. Let's grab our navigation. I got that so much as an artist. I do that. Yeah, I feel the same. I always wanted to get better at art. It's something that I just never prioritized. Back when I was in junior high, in grade 12, not grade 12, grade 7, you would have to choose your option that you wanted to learn at school. So there's like art, and there was drama, and there was science and technology. So me being a 12-year-old and like a super dramatic 12-year-old, I was like, okay, now's not the time to mess around. You got to think about your future. You can't just do art anymore. And you got to think about college or whatever. And I was 12 and I was like, now I have to do science and technology. And it's like, you're 12. Like, just relax. Now look what I do for work, right? Unbelievable. Still, it was really fun. The science and technology course wasn't like, it was playing with Lego Mindstorms. So basically you built like robots out of Lego and then you would program them to like run through a course. But I felt like what I mostly remember from doing that was actually just like having to do inventory for all of the Lego pieces. So like after every like little thing that we did, and at the end of every class, we would have to count all the Lego pieces to make sure that our inventory matches up with what we had originally. And that's like the one takeaway that I had from the course. Just doing inventory for Lego. So it's like, did I really learn anything? Probably not. It was fun, but I don't even think I don't do a lot of Lego anymore. How'd this look? Okay, you guys, thoughts on which one we need to continue with? Left or right? Or neither? Because you know what I should have started with? I should have been like, we are creating a banking app. And then I would actually known like, what am I going to search for? What am I going to need? What kind of copy am I going to need? What kind of references should I take a look at? But I feel like for a first stream, like this was okay. You know, I figured out how to go live. The bar is low. The bar is low today. I am designing something and I think it was fun. Like, I would like to do this again. Is there a lot of inventory tracking in computer science? No, absolutely not. I wouldn't even know what that meant for computer science. Oh, so for my first job, my first and only comp sci software development job, whatever, I was working with a company that was founded from the university. So I definitely had a lot of imposter syndrome when I got an interview to do this, like, at all anyways. But yeah, so that company was started from the university. That meant all of my coworkers and everything, they were all like PhD students, master students, people that would TA my courses when I was doing like comp sci courses in university. So I was super nervous, but I got so lucky because that just meant like I had the best mentors in the entire world. And I absolutely adore the guys that I got to work with there. There's something very special about your first company, like your first big girl, big boy, big they, them job. It's like you're so like green and you're so eager to learn, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm finally gonna make money. I have all this responsibility. I don't have homework, and it feels like great. And you actually like really build relationships with your coworkers, especially like the company that I worked for. Like we were all pretty much in the same age, like 28 and younger. So it was just like really fun at work, and I had a fantastic manager, probably one of the best managers I've ever had in my career. I love that company. I still do. Like, if anyone was looking for a job in the city, yeah, like I would totally recommend them. Yeah, there's something, I don't know, there's just something really special about that first like company. Like it really just sets the bar on like what you expect, which is why it's so important to like choose that first company that you work with very carefully, because it really just like sets down the path and that foundation of what you expect from work. And it can also really like, your environment can impact how you feel about your job so much. Because at the end of the day, like you're working with people, especially in a role like UX design. So it's just really like, it's a big deal. Yeah, so I think, you know what? I think we're actually going to call it here. I know we didn't actually design anything too great, but I think there is potential here. So what I'm thinking is that, you know, we screamed for a couple hours, had a lot of fun. I got to talk to you guys and finally start on Twitch, which has been like that really big goal for me. And maybe we'll pick this up next time I do a stream. Let's turn off some music. Yeah, let's pick this up next time and we'll see where it's gonna end up going. I'm hoping it's either we are going to work on this again so that we can finally post something and say, yeah, we did something and it went up on Dribble. Or I'm gonna have another idea and we're gonna have to work off that. So yeah, okay, I think we're gonna call it. Thank you guys for showing up and for watching. Wow, it's just like a YouTube video. I don't know how to end this. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night or morning or whatever. And I will see you guys next time. Next time being whenever I'll set up a schedule or something, but I'll probably let you guys know through YouTube and through Instagram. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Okay, that was fun. Maybe that's how I'll end it. Okay, thanks you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Just like a YouTube video. Just like a YouTube video. Bye.